All right, welcome everybody. We are in the semifinals, and it is Sunekichi versus Alvar, the number 1 and number 2 ranked FWC point players. You could argue they're the best players in Faeria right now. Joining me is someone who we watched a little bit earlier play, is Werfs. Hello, Werfs.
Hi guys. Hope everyone's having a good day. It's a fun tournament.
Yeah, what did you think of it so far? I mean, you played a couple rounds, right?
Oh, it was very fun. I think the 20-second queue timers, not 20-second queue timer, the 20-second turn timers are actually perfect. It's just enough where you get to think fast and you have to play fast, but it's not, restrictive like 10 seconds. So good job with that one.
Yeah, it was a tough choice. I think 20 seconds is working out all right. My name is Atmas, by the way. I don't think I introduced myself. We are in the semifinals of the Faeria Blitz tournament, as Werfs mentioned. 20-second turns all day long. It's been pretty funny. We've seen some pretty funny games, some pretty great games, and also pretty competitive too. Like I think we're seeing good play really shine through when you're really limited in the time you have to make decisions. Right now, we are waiting for players to get ready. But if you are watching, keep in mind you can win stream prizes as time goes on after you watch for an hour and make sure you link your Twitch account to your Abracam account, which you can do using the instructions in stream. Just go to the hub and your user page, and you can do it very easily. And you can win the egg, which will hatch this weekend. You'll see your incubator in game as well. As well as some chests that you can win after the egg. You have a chance to do that. So, Werfs, what do you think the best kind of decks are in this sort of format? Do you think it's necessary to play Rush, or do you think what do you think?
I think a lot of people prepared for Rush because people think, oh, because the turn timers are fast, I have to play a fast deck. But from what I've seen so far, from what we've seen on the stream so far, that doesn't seem to be the case. In fact, I don't think I've seen a whole lot of Rush decks yet. A lot of mid-range, a lot of control decks aim to kind of grind your opponent out of the game rather than outspeed them.
Yeah, I would agree. I think we've seen some really control-ish kind of decks do very well. And Rush decks actually haven't been very successful. I think we have seen some Green Rush do well. If we can look at the brackets while we wait for one of our players, you can see that we are in the semifinals. Happy Joe is in the other side of the bracket, and he is waiting on the victor between Captain G, who we watched earlier, and Will Sism. Now, I don't know how to pronounce that name, and I haven't seen him before, but we have seen a lot of new players this tournament. Moving on from here, and actually Captain G, I just updated. Captain G actually did just recently win, so it'll be Captain G versus Happy Joe on the other side of the bracket. After this, we'll be moving on, after the semifinals, we'll move on to the third place match, which will be a best of 7, and the grand finals, which will also be a best of 7. Best of 7 does work in Crucible. After your third deck is eliminated, they all resurrect, they all revive, whatever you want to call it, and players can pick another one right away. Have you ever seen a best of 7 or played a best of 7 in Crucible yet, Werfs?
No, I haven't. This is the first time I've seen, and I've seen a best of 7 like ever.
Yeah, it's the first time we'll broadcast one for sure.
Yeah.
But many people don't, or many people might not know, you can do a best of 7 in Crucible. The decks just resurrect.
So if the decks resurrect, can you still play banned ones, or are the banned decks still gone?
Nope, the banned decks remain banned. They'll always be banned even through the resurrection. So you just get your other 3 decks, and then you choose one, and then basically you have to use that for the rest of the match. Because if you lose, then you lose 4 games, and you're done.
I see. Oh, okay. That's really cool.
So we have Sunekichi in the lobby, but he's not responding. We're going to try and get a hold of him so we can begin this semi-finals match. Sunekichi is a Japanese player. And of course, as we mentioned, he is number 1 ranked in FWC points. Alvar is from Russia, consistently high tournament fisher, and he is number 2. We are really seeing the battle of the Titans in this match. This is really a grand finals caliber match that we're going to witness, and in Blitz format, it's going to be really awesome. We watched Sunekichi earlier. I'm not sure if we caught Alvar on stream. I can't remember. Maybe we caught both these guys so far. But our plan is to do this one, and then also watch the Captain G game directly after, and move on to third place and the grand final. So a good number of rounds left for you on stream to watch and enjoy and gather those rewards. Other than that, don't forget, the second part of Fall of Everlife released earlier this week on Tuesday. It's available on Steam. You can get it right now. As soon as you get Fall of Everlife, you get a bunch of battle chests full of Fall of Everlife cards. You can craft the rest that you need, open the rest in battle chests. We also recently increased the amount of battle chests you earn each time you complete a daily quest, each time you level up, each time you do a daily login. Basically, it's like double battle chests everywhere. So you should be able to get make the decks you want right away.
Make a new Yellow Rush deck every expansion.
That's the goal. That's the goal you should have. Constantly make a new Yellow Rush deck. We have seen some changes to Yellow Rush. Like we said earlier, Lionfish. We saw a Lionfish in a Yellow Rush deck. Did you notice that, or have you seen that before?
I don't think I was watching the stream for that one. I've never seen Lionfish in Yellow Rush.
Yeah, neither had we, and it was surprising, but it seemed to be a thing to do. So, yeah, I guess there is sort of a new Yellow Rush style coming out there.
I mean, Yellow Rush aside, on the topic of Lionfish, I really, really like Lionfish. It's such a interesting card because it's kind of like a turn 1 axe grinder play for Yellow Flyer or Yellow overall. And with a campfire or a training on it, it instantly becomes a flying last nightmare, which is really, really scary, especially for a more mid-range and control meta that we're seeing right now. Having a 1/5 charge 2 flying Lionfish is really, really scary, and I think that's really well made. It's a really cool card, and I feel like it's not seeing enough play right now. It's so underrated, but it's such a good card.
Sorry, I was talking to our players. I think we may be beginning shortly. Other notes I want to make about Blitz. I haven't really been keeping track of the stream game times today, but it turns out the average of a Blitz game comes out to around 7 minutes long, pretty consistently from what I've seen. I don't know whether we've been going longer or shorter today, but definitely majorly increased pace. Okay, we are beginning, and Sunekichi and Alvar are here in the lobby, and they're beginning to ban their decks.
Oh, all right. These are some interesting decks. So we see the Rakoan, I guess that's a green yellow sack ban coming out from Alvar. There's a we saw. I think we saw that sack deck from Sunekichi earlier, and it was dominating. It was like super difficult for any deck to get through it. So Alvar not even wanting to deal with it. So Sunekichi right now, what it looks like from the green blue deck, it looks like, judging by the average Faeria cost and the land, I feel like it might be a green blue beast deck, which has also been taking off recently, which is really nice. The Orphan Fugu is just a 4/3 5/5 jump. Banning out the red control, it seems. Yeah,
it looks like red control or mid-range red. Just doesn't want to deal with it. The mono red deck is gone, and it'll be yellow tempo versus. Oh, I just missed what?
It's green.
Green. Okay, so yellow tempo versus green.
So yellow tempo. Oh, okay. I thought it was yellow flyers.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah, yellow flyers.
Yeah, yellow flyers. You're right. Yeah.
So the flyers should generally be favored in this matchup.
I like Mistral Guide. I wonder if in this deck he has so probably Shaitan Demons, if I remember. I think for the guide to make float around.
And I think 99% of the time you run Wind Soldier with Mistral Guide because you get to like quad collect in one turn.
The opening hand for Alvar has an Eridon in it in this mono green deck. opening Grizzly means I expect he's going to have Hunt Downs in this deck as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sunekichi wants to get another flyer out for that Emissary to get that 5 attack, so that if a Hunt Down does come down, at least the Grizzly will take a little bit more damage.
Mm-hmm.
And lots of Emperor's Command in Alvar's hand.
It's a lot of healing.
A lot of healing, and Aerodon does come down, so he wants to trade out this Aerodon as soon as he can, so that he can get the most value possible from it. And when Sunekichi is playing slow like this, harvesting from his bottom wells, that gives Alvar the opportunity to do stuff like that, to wait a little bit longer and get more value.
So we'll probably see a Kaleem dash into center of the board just to cover every tile. And Shane Demon would go very aggressively, try to pressure that Grizzly. Deepwood Stalker is drawn, but not a lot of good targets right now.
Yeah, and these Emperor's Command are pretty valuable right now. He can, if he wanted to, he could have traded that Demon out with the Grizzly, but nope, gonna go for the Grove Collar instead. Gonna cost Sunekichi a training to get rid of that.
Sunekichi does pick up a Last Nightmare, very good card against green. Windborn Champion in hand, so we will probably see Sunekichi building deserts for the next few turns.
Does pop the Aerodon. Deepwood Stalkers are now 3/5. Fight anywhere, which is just enough to take out a Windborn Emissary or a Column and survive. So the question is, does he fear the double collecting more, or does he fear the aggressive Column more? Oh, he's going to go for Emperor's Command, so he can clear. Yeah.
The Emissary. Yep, I think that's the right move, because letting Yellow Flyers quad collect is one of the most dangerous things you can do.
And that's what Yellow Flyers loves to do, and what it's really good at.
Gonna be moving away, trying to get a value trade onto the Stalker with Demon. Beastmaster does come out. Well, that is drawn, but I think maybe we will see the. Oh, this is a hard line. Because maybe just okay. I was thinking if you ever Beastmaster and then Emperor's Command for the trade, but it looks like Alvar is just going to bite the bullet and take the value trade on the Deepwood Stalker and try to set up a bigger body behind it.
And these golems are a huge issue. There's going to be 3 of them rolling out for Alvar, and Sunekichi's already used 1 Last Nightmare, so he's going to have to really try and finish this as fast as he can. Windborn Champion's going to help with that.
A lot of Yellow Flyer decks right now are cutting out the 3 Last Nightmares in favor of 2 Nightmares and 2 Spirit Thefts for to counter tokens and big targets. But with 1 Last Nightmare out of the way, every Tyrant Golem is a huge threat. Feeding it is.
Alvar uses his own Last Nightmare on his own Therian Golem, takes care of it for Sunekichi, so 2 more to go. But really, we've got a 7/8 Grove Guardian. That's almost a Therian Golem.
That is a good draw.
Off the top, nice. But keep in mind, that's 2 down. There's only 1 more in his deck, and Alvar is not out of giant green things.
But Sunekichi is quad collecting every turn, and Alvar has a creature that would get value traded or die if it chooses to collect. So he's kind of in a sticky situation.
A 6/7 for 3. That's pretty good value last time I checked.
There's another clear. So Sunekichi can set up Mistral Guide and Soul Drain, the Ancient Boar, and trade it with the Windborn Champion, but it looks like he's going to go for the full-on out-collect gameplay.
Yeah, and he's got to get rid of that Beastmaster. That Beastmaster is basically a second Aerodon every single turn. Oh, I love that. Just dashing Column back towards after the Beastmaster is cleared, and putting himself in range of the orb, which means the Ancient Boar has to choose, do I collect or do I open the orb? Well, he can just play the Deepwood now that he drew it.
Yep. Does have the Verdant in hand, so if Sunekichi doesn't pick up the other Last Nightmare fast enough, could be in a little bit of trouble. Double Air Elemental, double Soul Drain.
And these players, really good. Sunekichi's already over halfway through his deck. by the way. So
Oh yeah.
they're playing so quickly, they're already halfway out of cards. Okay, Sunekichi cleared the board. Double harvesting. Alvar is not, but he doesn't really need to harvest when he gets those Aerodon buffs no matter what. There is the second Therian Golem. 6/11. There's only one Last Nightmare in Sunekichi's deck.
Can he find it? Is the real question.
And if he doesn't, he's just going to have to... Well, there's a Windborn, and he could do some shenanigans here. Could hit the face using the Windborn to move the Air Elemental over and then drop a Windborn Emissary. That's exactly what he does. Therian Golem can clear the 4/2, of course, but Sunekichi just looking for more face damage.
Yep. This 8/8 does come out. Alvar is somewhat fighting the board back, just through numbers alone. Sunekichi picking up the Flash Wind. Gonna make some tricky plays.
Right,
is it ever... Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm just wondering if it's ever possible for Alvar to lose board, but just keep trading until the point where Sunekichi runs out of threats. Because Yellow Flyers has a very limited amount of threats. And Windborn Champion, now that Manta Rider has been nerfed, the Charge 2 is no longer there. The Windborn Champion is one of the only mobile card left in the deck. So if Alvar just turtles over and over and slowly wipes out Sunekichi's board, is it ever possible that Alvar just turtles until he wins just by...
Yes, because not only running out of threats, but running out of cards. He's down to 8 cards already, so he will just lose to fatigue. If that's the case, Wind Soldier can help clear out here. There's no real path to the face. A Flash Wind can kind of help you get there, but then what happens afterwards? So yeah, just double harvesting here. But 7 cards for Sunekichi, 13 for Alvar.
Yeah. Alvar's got 2 feats and a Verdwin. He's going to be casting it, refreshing it, getting some extra Faeria. Ancient Beastmaster is picked up and an Ancient Boar in one turn. That is a really strong play.
The early Aerodon, so early on, is just so much value.
It's like a turn 3 Aerodon. It's crazy.
And I think that's exactly what we're seeing. I think we're just seeing Alvar sit next to his orb, defend, look at the card count, and say, wait a minute, I can just wait till you run out of cards.
So one of the only ways for Sunekichi to win is that he does have 2 more Wind Soldiers left in his deck, which means that is 6 damage plus 5 from Emissary, Demon, or Windborn Champion. That is 11, which is perfect lethal if he can somehow get those creatures to connect to face.
And by the way, just the speed at which these players are playing, like the last turn for Sunekichi, like that, he had exactly 20 seconds, and he used every bit of that 20 seconds to do everything he needed to do.
Oh man, Last Nightmare is picked up.
The final Last Nightmare. The Wind Soldier can clear. He can clear the board here.
I mean, what does the quad collecting even do now? Sunekichi's pretty much out of threats. Alvar's got infinite Runins.
Infinite Runins. Sunekichi has 3 cards. Whatever those 3 cards are going to be extremely pivotal. He needs to do 11 damage. Alvar will not run out of cards. Well, if the forest helps him get there a little bit faster. But yeah, Runin coming down, Boar coming down after the Runin.
The Aerodon buff does allow the board to be played with the discount. Windborn Champion. So I think this is the last Windborn?
I think that it is, yeah. Now he's drawing even down to 1 card. So this Windborn can clear the Runin. The Emissary, that is. The Champion is held in hand.
Ooh, and the Grove Guardian pick is very, very bad for Sunekichi.
And I think we are going to Fatigue and a Blitz matchup. This is Sunekichi's last card of the game. What is it going to be?
Soul Drain. That is...
Soul Drain.
Oh, man. How does he
do 11 damage? Before the game is over. He can clear with a Wind Soldier here, so his Champion is in range of the orb. The problem is there's a Runin right in hand.
Body blocks with Runin and... Sunekichi realizes.
Just recognizes it. Out of cards, gonna go into Fatigue. No way to deal with the Runin. let alone whatever else is in the deck. So game 1 to the turtling Alvar with his green deck. And Sunekichi says, I'll have no more of that. I'm going to play burn, because guess what? You can't hide from burn damage.
Sunekichi did see 2 Emperor's Commands. And I don't think Alvar is running Runin's Guidance if he's running commands, because usually you run one or the other. So I think Alvar has opted for the Emperor's Command rather than Runin's Guidance.
Yeah, I think you're right. I didn't notice any guidances either. Sunekichi has a nice opener here with the Sheenham Brute Harvester.
So against... Oh. Alvar's going for the rush.
Yeah, he's turning it into a rush. And this is not a rush deck. He's just playing it that way.
Yeah. I mean, Sunekichi can potentially clear at Voice of Truth. He's probably going to see the Vertibin drop. Yeah. So Sunekichi could clear with... The gift, the Cypher's Wrath top deck actually does clear. And the Voice of Truth is not that good right now. Alvar can Deepwood Stalker. The Voice of Truth is pretty useless right now. Grove Guardian's probably not going to be played. Unless he wants to give Sunekichi that free Faeria trade.
Yeah, Voice of Truth, not a very effective rush card, turns out. Deepwood Stalker can clear out. And Ethereal Golem, a couple turns away from being played. This is going to give time for Sunekichi to do what he wants to, but not with these cards. Ooh.
Ooh, some pretty bad draws. So it looks like Alvar's shifting. Nope, he's still going rush. I was thinking, judging by the land placement of last turn, I thought he would be transitioning back into a mid-range game plan, but I think he saw, hey, Sunekichi didn't play anything. He's red, yellow, burn, obviously shown by the deserts. He's bad if I put aggression on him. So let's just keep going with the Grove Guardian.
And I think he's going to feed and drop Ethereal Golem here. No? Okay. It looked like he was going to do that.
Sunekichi not getting good draws. I think he wants to save... I mean, he does have the ability to use Crystal Flower this turn just to prevent 5 more face damage coming in. But we do see from Alvar's hand, there is a Verdant Forest Tyrion Golem. And even if he doesn't collect, Alvar does have Tyrion and Feed to top up his Faeria reserves again. It looks like that's exactly what's going to happen.
My goodness. Don't try this at home, kids, by the way. Don't go as a green rush. Don't start as rushing and then go off to the side and then go back to rushing. Only Alvar knows how to
Only
do
Alvar
this.
can do this properly. That is a lot of damage coming in. Oh, okay.
Okay, Scourge Flame finally to the face. Sunekichi now getting his win condition in play. 9 damage left to do. He has 2 Flame Bursts in hand. There's no healing for Alvar, so he's really only 3 damage from just winning the game here. And the Scourge Flame hit on anything wins.
Yeah. Interesting use of Flash Wind to move things back out of range.
Yeah, tucking his Scourge Flame back towards the Farewell. It's going to allow him to harvest and then still keep him in orb range. And this Verdant Forest, which is presumably going to block, is still going to get hit for 3. He has the Ciphers. He doesn't have the Faeria for double Flame Burst, but he has the cards.
Oh. That is a great pickup.
And now, so he doesn't even play his hand. He doesn't show him that he has the direct damage. There is no healing. Oh, no healing.
I think Sunekichi could have played the training just in case Alvar did pick up healing. Just for that extra 1 damage.
Oh, he could have won, couldn't he? Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was a miss lethal, okay, but keep in mind, I mean, the turns go so fast. But yeah, Sunekichi finally pulling out the win there against that Alvar green deck. No turtling that time. In fact, Alvar felt so pressured. That
I don't think it was exact. Yeah, I don't think it was exactly a miss lethal, but as green, there's no way to like get rid of the Scourge Flame without attacking directly into it. And we saw when Alvar traded in the Verdant Forest, he was left with 1 health. And Sunekichi, if he had casted the training, that 1 health would have been just enough to take down Alvar with that trade. So that 1 health actually allowed Alvar to possibly draw into another heal if Sunekichi didn't have direct damage in hand. But obviously he did, because red, yellow, burn always has damage in hand.
Always, always, always. And look at this deck from Alvar. It looks like a green-blue beast deck.
Yeah.
From what I see, Tyrannax seeing some play.
I think it might be possible that Alvar's running 3 guidances in this deck instead of the Beastmaster Green. Because you can only have so many repeating cards, right? So he may have chosen to use commands in the Beastmaster Green, and he may be going for guidances here, which means he might have a lot of repeating cards, as we see from Deepwood Stalker. There might be a lot of repeat cards, which is why he had to kind of go with the suboptimal choice of Emperor's Command in Beastmaster Green.
Yeah, you are able to share up to 12 cards in any 2 decks in this format, so sometimes you have to make considerations like that. Both players choosing different sides of the board to go up. Alvar knows what he's up against. He's certainly aware of the columns training double harvest shenanigans that red-yellow decks love to do.
I mean, that 7-3 just disrespects Flame Burst so well. So hard. And it's a gamble that's paying off because Sunekichi doesn't have a way to remove that.
Yeah, he really did just play the Octopus and was like, okay, come at me, bro. Flame Burst me. And nope, just wasn't there. So that revealed to Alvar there is no Flame Burst in hand.
Yeah. I mean, 5/5s against red yellow burn is actually so scary because it trades off so many things. Wow.
He did that so quickly. Like he's like, okay, I'll do this, and then yep, Mystic Beast afterwards. Threatening for 9 now against the face.
So he's got a training the Brute this turn. Gonna go for the Cypher's Wrath. Maybe using the Fanatic to,
And I really like that.
And now
I really
the Fanatic,
like watching red yellow decks. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, now the Fanatic, not only does it move the Brute into a safe range, it also contests the Octopus really well. But we do see from Alvar's hand the Elderwood Embrace pickup, and the 2 Deepwood Stalkers will be making short work of that Fanatic.
7/3 Octopus still surviving in a match against red. You don't see that every day. 14 health left for Alvar, but he's threatening with 6 against 16. Now there's a Brute. Scourge Flame is playable this turn.
Oh, okay. I was thinking he could have used the Flash Wind to double collect, but I guess he's going
it away from the Octopus is what he's worried about.
Ooh.
There's a Frog Tosser, and that is not really going to do much in this situation. It's just, ooh, okay. Of course, with the Shifting Tide. Actually, I think using the Flash Wind there was just kind of purposeless, unless you just want to get rid of that tower.
1
3 health left.
Is lethal. 1 Flame Burst. Can we top
Flame Burst at the top. Flame Burst at the top.
Oh, and the top deck lethal. So skillful.
You
only see this level. You only see this type of skill in high level play like this.
He had it all along. We all know that. Sunekichi now 2 wins with this red yellow burn deck, and this could be it. This could be the end of the best of 5 right here in the semifinals.
So depending on what type of green red deck this is, this match may play out very differently. If it's a salamander deck, Alvar can just sit there with his 3 guidances and 3 salamanders. And the moment Sunekichi tries to get aggressive, he just removes everything. Or if it's a Crackthorn deck, then he just goes more aggressive. And from the Sogmi Warrior, this may be a Crackthorn deck. Okay, so it is a Crackthorn, judging from the Sogmi Warrior and the Firestorm. Firestorm's not as useful against red yellow burn though.
I have to say the decks that Sunekichi, well, really all the players are bringing, but Sunekichi in particular, he's bringing very ambitious decks for a Blitz format. Red yellow burn when you have to click like 10 times in a turn sometimes, and then he also has a sack deck which was actually banned, but that's one where you're clicking around everywhere, and he just plays them like it's nothing.
Think fast. I think one of the biggest takeaways from Blitz is that you have to think on your opponent's turn, right? The longer you spend on your turn is also time your opponent can use. So when your opponent is taking their time just thinking, you're also using that 20 seconds. So in reality, you have a 40-second turn timer. You just have to constantly be thinking nonstop, just over and over and over. Like, what are the best lines? What is he doing? What can I play around? So the longer you take in Blitz format, the more it also kind of gives your opponents that much more time to try to counter you.
Yeah, it really is a good lesson in how to play Faeria, because that's applicable to all Faeria games.
Yeah.
But it's so much more valuable here, where your time is so limited. You can't like look away and check your text messages during your opponent's turn. You have to constantly be watching.
I mean, I alt tab I'm alt tabbing frequently when I play Faeria. So when I'm in Blitz, my attention is 100% dedicated, and I am burning myself out really hard. But it is a very interesting game mode, I think.
I'd have to agree. Okay, so Crackthorn here for Alvar, and he does have the Taiga Explorer in the deck, which was buffed not so long ago. With its change, allows him to get a 5/5 after playing it earlier, as it was a 3/5 or a 5/3, I forget. Ground Shaker coming down takes both these brutes down to 5. A little bit more manageable, considering Alvar has 2 5-attack creatures.
Yep. See, the training probably set up for the Scourge Flame. Trying to get as much damage in as possible. Crackthorn decks run guidance like 99% of the time, so I think Sunekichi realizes this, so he wants to try to end the game before Alvar has the time to draw into those heals. Double Firestorm is going to wipe out Sunekichi's board completely.
If he didn't do that, there was 9 damage in combat burn alone on board.
Yeah.
That is devastating to Sunekichi. That was 9 damage represented at least that he was expecting to do his opponent. Now it's all erased and he has to start all over. That was super ambitious to play that extra brute at the end there, but who can expect your opponent has 2 Firestorms? Of course, you can expect it, but you just hope that it wasn't there. It was there, and man, was he punished.
So Alvar getting the board back, fighting the board back. Double Gift to Steal on the Scourge Flame could actually just swing the game around. Alvar drawing 3 Wraths.
And Runins actually went there, and he used Runin's Guidance to heal as well, so he's all the way back up to 18.
Yeah.
So much progress lost for Sunekichi.
But at the same time, Sunekichi's got Scourge Flame and Double Gift to Steal in hand, and that is usually one of the most devastating combos you can get. Looks like he's just going to go in early with Gift to Steal. Maybe training to clear... No, he's going face. There's no way you miss face damage like that.
You gotta go face. Back down to 10. Without that Runins, that would have been a 5 health orb.
Yeah.
So Sunekichi still has a little bit of a mountain to climb. He is going to take the next to 3. Another Runin's Guidance in hand.
Yep. Double Wrath to prevent to prevent more damage. We'll probably Guidance again, push him back up to 12. I think Sunekichi played it a little bit too hastily. He probably could have waited for the second Gift to Steal to just bump up the health out of range. Grimguard is drawn, but not very playable. Sunekichi needs to be comboing his cards with Gift to Steal, and he's not doing that for some reason.
Now, Cypher's Wrath does allow the Grimguard to be cleared off. He probably doesn't want it to hit face, or doesn't want to give the opportunity to hit face, so he'll just use the tool that he has. Going back to 10. If Runin's Guidance was not run in Alvar's deck, he would have lost the game already.
Yeah. So there is pretty much lethal on board, because you can usually draw some sort of damage, and Sunekichi has to kind of go all in now. Just go with the Brigand and...
Brigand to face. Okay, Sunekichi needs 1 damage. That's 11. He needs 1 more. Bone Collector doesn't do it.
And he can't even draw for it because he needs to be making land to hit face.
Yeah,
Double Bone Collectors.
Gonna be 1 more turn.
The thing is with the Bone Collectors, Sunekichi can't actually hit face because it's just blocked. So
he has to draw a Flame Burst to even get in there, and then you have to do enough damage to not lose the game. There's the Flame Burst, but...
If Alvar didn't get those Bone Collectors, Sunekichi would have just won here.
It would have been 5
and
plus 8. Oh my gosh,
yeah,
yes.
It would have been 8. The 2 Bone Collector, well, the 1 Bone Collector draw saved Alvar. And it looks like he's realizing there's not a lot of hope left. Timer runs out, and looks like Sunekichi is going to
tie up. Yep, Alvar tying it up 2-2 now. Man, so many games today have gone the full 5. We are on the final match here.
Final match? I thought this was a best of 7.
Final game. No, this is semifinals. Best of 7 does not start until third and finals. Yep.
Right. Okay, so game 5. Damn, this is so exciting. This is you have to commentate so fast on Blitz.
You do, and let alone play.
Yeah.
And just in case you missed us saying this earlier, these are the number 1 and number 2 ranked players in the Faeria World Circuit right now. So, arguably, the 2 of the best players playing in a Blitz format against each other. It is very, very difficult to do what they're doing, and I've seen very little mistakes, if any, really. Like, well, maybe like a couple little ones, but they're playing very, very well.
Usually, like, the small mistakes are like missed 1 damage or like forgot to collect. But I mean, forgetting to collect is kind of big, but not a lot of big mistakes coming up. Looks like Forest into Wood Elemental should be the play for Sunekichi here, probably leading into a Shifting Octopus next turn. He did mulligan away the Hunt Down, which I find pretty interesting. This deck has, I mean, if he's running the net deck version, there's like 16 beasts in here. So mulliganing away Hunt Down is very interesting because I usually keep Hunt Down in my opening hand like 50% of the time. Usually when I have a turn 3 play, he did have a turn 3 play, and he still chose to mulligan it away. So maybe he's looking to establish a bunch of bodies on the board before using Hunt Down to double dip in value. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not sure.
So the question is, who is the better beast? Is it the Crackthorn, which actually may not actually be in this Crackthorn deck? We just call it Crackthorn.
Yeah.
Or the green-blue beast, which is a new archetype that's been appearing. Look at that juicy 7/10.
Oh, the Gyarados and Ground Shaker. Alvar's got a very heavy hand, but from the way he's drawing, 2 Sagami Warriors and 2 Bone Collectors is so... It's so good, but so bad at the same time. Like, you know what I'm saying, right? Like, you always want those in your opening hand, but you never want all of them in your opening hand.
Yeah, you want like 1. Yeah.
Yeah, like 1 of each. He's got 2 of each, kind of clogs up the board. Sunekichi does have access to Frog Tosser now.
1 Bone Collector down and the other Bone Collector down. The Frog Tosser. Huge board for Sunekichi, and Alvar just left with those Sagamis, and one of them is taunted.
Can't even collect. The other one is either going to trade for Gyarados or... I mean, he could try to swing the game back with the Gyarados onto the double collect position, which we will see here. But that does not solve the problem of the huge taunt in front of face.
It does clear some units. It does make a big difference. It's definitely going to be Alvar's best option here. Sunekichi, though, has so much Fairy to spend and so much to do with it. Double Orphan, Fugo, an Ancient Boar for 3 cost.
He missed the Ancient Boar.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
he hovered it. He forgot about it.
Yeah, and because he did that, he couldn't, if he wanted to play it, he couldn't dash it in the right spot.
Yeah. Tried to play the board for 3 and then realized it went to 5 because he traded with the Grove Guardian first.
Dope.
Oh, man.
Okay, so double harvesting with the Gyarados. There is at least 12 damage sitting next to face.
Throwing the Ground Shaker out to get traded by the Grove Guardian. That
hurts.
Painful. Yeah.
And there's 10 damage to follow up. There is a Salamander in hand for Alvar, but he can't even play it, especially if he loses his Harvester.
Yeah.
And that is 15 damage. That is lethal on board for Sunekichi.
I mean, I think the best play for Alvar is just start going face in the +1 Salamander and try to defend, but I guess he's going for the full defensive route here. Maybe trying to grind out.
Yeah, he has to. With the 15 damage there, he had to clear something. There's still 10. Frog Tosser, okay.
I mean, it's not that bad, actually. It could set up a pretty nice Salamander for Alvar next turn. Nope, not going to use it.
He opts to keep the Fugu and hit with the Octo.
So looks like Alvaro should be... Ooh.
Firestorm.
Oh, man, but do you Firestorm this board? Is the 3 damage on the... on the Spider
Salamander.
Board? I think the Salamander is just better. I mean, the Firestorm, you have to value, right? Do you value the 3 damage on the Stalker more than a 2/5 body to defend? And I think Alvar wants the 2/5 a lot more than 3 damage on the Spider, on the Stalker.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Plus, he can harvest with it afterwards, or would have been able to harvest.
Yeah.
That was a mistake.
Not sure if B. Oh, because it's in the range of Girden.
Oh my goodness, that is huge.
The timer.
A free Guardian for Garden to eat, plus a Bone Collector to chew.
Man. Alvar's fighting his way back.
That was actually really huge. He definitely didn't see it. I didn't even see it until you mentioned it. They're just playing so quickly. Garden's in range, and that is a big deal. Frog Tosser can clear off this Bone Collector before it gets too big.
Maybe kill
you can get rid of the Scaradon, yep.
But now Alvar has Firestorm, and now Alvar's the one with the big board.
Oh my gosh, this Firestorm will clear the board. Runen is even drawn.
The Runen for the follow-up turn. Oh man, plugging up the lakes, so Sunekichi can't even easily Orphan Fugu and +1. So now Sunekichi has to create another lake in order to push down that Fugu. And we see the land cost. The Sunekichi's blue-green beast deck has a land split of 4 forests and 2 lakes. Alvar's deck has a pretty standard 3 forest, 3 mountain requirement. So you just see from the land cost, like the lands each player has, Sunekichi's already spent 2 extra turns building unnecessary lands, whereas Alvar is using those 2 turns to +1 or draw extra cards, or find other ways to maintain the board. So Sunekichi's lands are pretty inefficient in this game, which may or may not have cost him.
Yeah, Alvar now going into Alvar mode, tucking his creatures back toward his orb. Runen can come out and just start gaining value. No, going to go with the Taiga, 5/5, not too shabby.
I think you play with the numbers first before you play with value. Runen's always there, but like, do you want to play a 5 Faeria 4/4 to contest board, or a 4 Faeria 5/5? I think right now Alvar's still focused on making sure he can maintain the board, and he can always jump into the value game much later on. Interesting Deepwood Stalker positioning, though. It's not very useful.
Preemptively buffing his Orphan Fugu against the Taiga. Of course, there is a Cypher's Wrath in hand, so no one's going to harvest from the left any longer. And here comes Runen.
Yeah.
And yep, just like you're saying, that was the very last creature Alvar had in hand. So having played all the rest of the tempo that he could, it said, okay, now I'll step back and I'll play a Runen, which will give me value a little bit later. How do you answer a Runen? You could answer with another Runen, but no, here comes a board.
Yeah. It's not going to dash. Maybe trying to play around Grappling Hook or something. No, Grappling Hook still falls prey to Grappling Hook on the Explorer. Another Firestorm is drawn. Alvar's deck is so heavy. There's 3 Firestorms in there.
Don't play that Firestorm yet. Hang on to it. You got that Cypher's Wrath. Wait one more turn, I'd say.
All right. Oh, Hunt Down.
Ooh, Hunt Down is really good right now.
This is what Hunt Down becomes so scary, because now Sunekichi can get rid of the Runen and then Hunt Down away the 5/5. Or he might just play his own Runen. Who knows? I think maybe just play his own Runen. Yeah.
Vanilla trade with the Runen, and yep, replacing it with his own. Yeah. Battle of the Runens.
2 Guidances, 2 Cypher's Wraths, Runen, no, 1 Cypher's Wrath, 2 Guidances, Firestorm, and Runen. Alvar is tucked away and ready for the end game. Looks like he's going to try to pressure Sunekichi into clearing his Runen over and over. And,
I didn't expect the Firestorm to come out there. I guess.
Same.
I was going to say it stops a Faeria game, but no, because Runen can just move up.
Yeah. Hunt Down on the... Yeah. Ooh, okay.
Ooh, that Firestorm, I don't know about that one.
It's a pretty big investment, but... I mean, if Sunekichi goes with a 3/5 jump, or 5/5, I was thinking 3/5 jump could start triple collecting. Both players will be getting Runens. Alvar's is 1 round bigger than Sunekichi's. Perhaps Sunekichi can fight his way back with Runen and Embrace.
Runen with an Embrace is a 2-turn clock for Sunekichi to deal with. There are no crystal flowers that I've seen or any kind of way to deal with that. I'm just going to have to trade with raw stats.
+1 double Embrace, maybe? No. I mean, against Runin, like when you're going for Runins, there's only so much you can do before the numbers just overwhelm you. She's at a 5 Fury at 10-10 now. As long as Alvar has one collector, he just keeps +1 into another big dude, and then another big dude, and then another big dude.
Yep, as long as he maintains that one collector, you know, the boards are pretty even except for this giant Runin, and there's just no answer now for Sunekichi.
Sunekichi has to go aggressive and try to top deck a buff next turn.
Yep, and that's just lethal.
Yeah. It has to be guidance exactly. The thing is, Alvar can just heal up out of range no matter what. Sunekichi is banking on the fact that Alvar has 3 guidances, bottom 5.
Yeah, he doesn't know that 2 are in hand right now. He's probably going to find out this turn that there's at least 1. Down to 15, down to 5 is Sunekichi. Does he play the guidance? I'm sure he has to.
Yeah.
There it is. And that puts him out of range of any kind of lethal shenanigans. A 10 health Runin to deal. He can deal with it.
I'm wondering if you ever just... Okay. I was wondering if you just set up the Wood Elemental and just try to win.
Well, that's going to be his option after this next Runin comes down, which he can't play because all of his Harvesters were killed. So now it's down to something else. No more Runins for you. Really just a Reveler and then a guidance to buff the Reveler?
Wait.
No.
I think this could be a lethal setup, right? With Auto base hit face +1 into Boar. Even if Alvar plays the really big Runin, it doesn't matter because there's nothing to taunt it. Healings, he doesn't heal out of range either. So Alvar, I think Alvar just lost.
Let's see. So +5 and he goes to 12. No, there's no way. Let's see. Firestorm? No. Oh, wait. Salamander? No.
No, there's no way to clear it.
Oh my goodness. The person with the 10...
Wait. Okay, so there's a way for him to live. There's a way for him to live, but... Okay. No, that's
Hunt down. That's 2 away. But of course, he doesn't have Faeria to do any more than that.
+1 into the Wood Elemental to try to secure some...
Protecting the Runin. There's only a Firestorm in hand. Yakapult doesn't do it.
Sunekichi might just pull this one out. Sunekichi wins. It's so impressive. Turning the tide, going really aggressive all of this when he realizes that Alvar can no longer +1 into consistently big Runins.
The 12-12 Runin player lost the match. It swung back. As soon as he couldn't play a single Runin, Sunekichi took it. And that's 3-2.
I don't think I've ever seen this. A 12-12 Runin losing a control matchup.
That's what it was up to. The last one was 10-10. The next one would have been 12-12, and that has certainly been it. And Sunekichi wins over Alvar, which is funny because Sunekichi is the #1 ranked player and Alvar is the #2. So did this match determine the true #1 and #2 in Faeria? Potentially so. This was definitely a finals caliber match taking place in the semifinals, but we're not even done. We still are moving on. There's one more semifinals, and there's a 3rd place and a grand finals.